everyone, Tom?
I could hear somebody else besides you talking.
That was Terry.
Alright.
Okay, the first thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the last meeting on October 9th.
So,
Okay. Motion has been made, and seconded to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Opposed say no. Motion carried. Public comment. Public comment. Public comment. Public comment is closed. You're on, Tom. Monthly report.
Very good, hopefully everybody can hear me alright.
what?
Starting with my, monthly report, still planning for the upgrades to the radio systems, with the radio system that the sheriff is doing for the ambulances and new portables for the responders, which will be inevitable eventually. 2025 EMPG, which is the planning grant that we get from the state, and the EPRA, which is the hazmat and computer
are you gonna submit a out-of-county travel thing for your thing next month then?
I'll bring the one in for me for January next month.
Yeah, okay,
I'm just giving you a heads up, I've never went to the WEMSA conference since I've been in Rusk County, and I'd like to go over there. So, you know, yeah, Rusk County, we've always just had a couple people, but next year I'd like to go.
okay, and then your bills,
We need a motion to approve the training.
training, okay. The motion to approve the training for Teresa Ludvigsen of $439 to attend the, training, the AMV in, billing conference in Madison. Motion has been made and seconded to approve out-of-county travel for Teresa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Okay, and then. To who?
That Lisa training.
He's gonna read it next month, he doesn't have it. So, do you have anything else, Tom? We're on to the bills.
Are you there?
Yeah, he's cutting in and out, I can hear you fine.
Here, put this on the table.
Okay,
Now I can hear you.
the next thing would be the bills. I think, they should have looked at these before. Again, the biggest one by far is the radios for, the ambulance.
You're
Correct, that's, 6 new handheld radios that are required in the back of the ambulance, that will go with the new radios that go in the ambulance, that we'll put in after the system and stuff.
Okay, anybody have any other question on the bills? Just a little over 46,000. 40,
Yeah, almost 41,000 this month.
Motion approved. Second.
motion has been made and seconded to approve the bills, for this month, for the ambulance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. How's the budget looking?
All right, the budget, that was in your package shows the ambulance at a minus 172,579.
Yep.
That's been updated, Jamie sent me a spreadsheet yesterday, she updated and reconciled the ambulance account, and it's now, instead of being that minus 172, it's minus 53,000. So she was able to reconcile through the end of October, so we're a lot closer to being on mark for the budget.
Okay, so you think since it's only 2 more months, we'll be okay?
We should, it all has to do with what's getting charged to the public. We were way down, now we're within 160,000 or 155,000, I guess it is, of what I budgeted. So that's what was dragging us down, cause we still had, 430,000, now there's, I'm gonna get the right line here. There's still 200, just a sliver under 300,000 left in the budget part, expenditures part that we haven't spent. So the difference is what's been billed.
Okay,
So the billing is caught up, there's some old stuff we're trying to get taken care of. Get that taken care of, we should be in good shape, otherwise we may have to move a little from our, revolving fund, or lapsing fund, I guess it's called. But we should be alright.
is the I mean, with the billing and everything, is that, with the new company and everything, is that going well? Or getting caught up and all that stuff that was way off?
Yeah, they're caught up to the end of October now. The only thing we're waiting on is trying to get our old files back from the old billing company yet, and Rich is involved in that.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
Rich, Jamie, Ashley, everybody's kinda had a hand in that, trying to get those freed up. We're just waiting for a letter from him now, stating that we no longer do business and the company releasing our files. We're waiting for that, so
okay. So you're making progress on that level too?
hopefully, yes.
Okay. Okay, anything else before we move on? Discussion, possible motion, discussion on continuity in regards to ambulance wages?
And I think that was something Phil wanted on there, that has to do with people losing their seniority if they have to quit in order to
Right.
collect their state retirement. I
Right.
think that needs to go through personnel. So,
Okay.
because that happens countywide, it happens for anybody. If you work in health and human services and you retire, you have to be retired for 75 days before you can come back. We can't hold a position for them, they have to reapply. That's the state retirement, the WRS.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Retirement System rules, that's not the state rules or the county rules. But when they come back, the county says they start over them with seniority, and that, I think, is what Phil would like to see changed, that they don't lose their years of service.
Yeah.
Okay, but nothing more from this committee at this time?
Well, I think we need to make a recommendation to personnel to look into this, because EMTs, a lot of them are not gonna come back and help us after they start collecting state retirement. Some will, but not all will. So, it's a matter of survival as far as I'm concerned. The rest of the county, I don't know if there's that many people come back and work that much. So, I'd make a motion, we take this to personnel, try and get it straightened out. But you shouldn't get punished for retiring and collecting the money you're due.
Tom, how many people does this affect?
In my department, 3 currently,
And more as we go on.
and it's gonna be more because we're getting older,
Okay,
as a group, I should say.
I'm just wondering about a conflict of interest, you know, with that. But you want to move it on to personnel.
Well, if you guys vote to move it on, I'll take it on to personnel, that's fine.
Okay,
Cause I don't disagree with Phil that it's a hindrance to people that wanna retire, need that money for their state retirement to survive or have planned on it. And then they come back and they lose $1 an hour or $2 an hour because they, took that off, they don't gain anything.
okay, the motion has been made to recommend moving it to personnel. Is there a second?
Who made the motion? I'll second.
She seconded.
And yes, my wife is one of the 3, but as long as I vote for blanket policies, it's not conflict of interest. If I vote for a specific pay raise for her, that's conflict of interest.
But when you have a small group of only 3,
You're gonna
that's a
have more in them as time goes
well,
on.
but right
I don't have
now,
a problem with it. If you do, fine, do something about it, but I don't, I'm
I'm
tired of
just-
this.
I'm just saying that when you have a class and there's 3 and 1/3 of it is related, there's a conflict, I think.
No.
But
Not according to our lawyer,
Well-
right? As long as it's a blanket policy, it's what Andy Phillips ruled on.
So the motion is made and seconded, all those in favor say aye. Opposed say no, motion carried. Okay, anything else, Tom?
That I can think of.
Was there any damage done to the brake pads or anything with that rock, or?
No, they said it got into a hole in the brake pad and just,
Oh, okay.
that's what was holding it, the rivet hole was holding the rock there. So they said the rotor was fine and the brake pad was fine, had a little tiny damage around the hole, but nothing to worry about, they cleaned it up, put it all back together again.
Okay, and the handle is for your your chair is, I set it in the hallway by your office.
Oh, very good, I'll get it done, plan on coming in tomorrow.
You borrowed my wife some things when she was out with her boot on.
Yeah, it moved from one handicapped guy me to Mary for a little while. So, and it's available if anybody else needs it, so, no, other than that, I think that was it for today. Our new ambulance is still on track to come in February, so that's when we're supposed to receive it,
Okay,
end of February, yes.
okay, any other questions for Tom?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alrighty, like I said, I'm back, if anybody's got questions.
Okay,
Alright,
thank you, yep. Okay, moving on, you're on.
Okay, if I can remember correctly, I think we had 7 natural deaths.
Yes.
No autopsies. I can't,
8 cremations.
okay, 8 cremations and
At a hospital.
the hospice deaths.
Hospice ran 6 on call
Okay, yeah, 6 on-call hours.
and 1 donut.
Donation, yeah. So, pretty, normal month. Let's see, what's up next?
You've got requested entry.
So I'm still doing the, every month training online, that's going good, I like it. I'm probably gonna come in and request, I can't remember when that year is over with, but requested to update it and do it some more, I think they have a 3-year, ongoing, training, so. Let's see, oh yes, the scanning, okay, so, with the scanning, I don't know why, I must have had a little brain fart, I don't know why this didn't occur to me, but when I asked about, what files needed to be kept and things of that sort, it looks like the state rules, I don't know if they're state or federal, but I got it through the state system, about, files, retention of files, is like 75 years. And it's just in case, I think it is, even if it's considered a natural death, I think if anybody goes back and says, well, that wasn't natural, go back and kind of relook at things. So it looks like I'm gonna have to keep the files. There's one, I'm gonna have to go through the files because there's a lot of files in there that we don't need to keep. They were hospice files, so those files would be kept by like the hospice agency. And, we don't have to keep those because they're not really our cases. So, those things we won't have to scan, so those would be kind of left out of those. So there'll be about 70 to 80 a year, and I think we have to go back maybe, we got maybe 10 years of files. Put a couple hours in this morning, see where that, how much get done, and, I'll update you guys on that. And also in your packet was the policy that I wrote up for our mention of, keeping files and specimens. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at that and if you have any questions about it. I just guess I want your okay on it, that it looks okay, and we kinda got that into our,
Have you read it?
Excuse me, that was, so, yeah, I did, I read it.
I'm waiting for your critiques.
There seemed to be pretty
Okay.
straightforward to me.
Okay.
Anything else, no?
I skimmed it, that's about it. That's why I didn't see it in the paperless.
Yeah.
I skimmed it.
I guess I'm good with that.
Medical Examiner's policy on the collection, retention, and disposition of biological specimens and records generated by medical legal investigations. And then it's defined in Wisconsin statute 19.32 friends 2. So you want us to approve this as,
As that will be our policy. Yeah, I guess there's a little chart on the bottom of it that kind of shows how many years we keep things and.
right?
So, I'm just, we did this, just that tissue stock jobs, that was 3+ years that you would keep those, +3?
The minimum, you know, it would be the minimum of 3.
And then you keep the case files on file for 75 years, and then they go to Wisconsin Historical Society?
Yeah, I never knew that, but I've never destroyed, in this position, have never destroyed any files. But I never knew that you had to offer them to the Historical Society first. And I think what they're looking for is maybe like, high profile cases, those kind of records.
And these are things that you're in the process of scanning?
Well, just maybe we have like 2 great big file cabinets full of files, and it would be maybe the last 10 years of just paper. Just scanning it so that, Tom wants more room in that little,
Cubby?
yeah, so. And it's really just taking up room, so.
I would move then that we approve this as presented.
This is something different. This is the motion made before, right?
Oh, did somebody make it?
No. Oh, okay.
No, this is, the thing about the policy of
Policy, collection.
the old records. So motion's been made, to accept policy as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded, to accept.
Collection, retention, and disposition of biological specimens.
Well, yeah, Rusk County Medical Examiner's policy, to accept that, policy. Any further discussion?
I have just one quick question. So, does this go on to the board, or is this here?
No, it's just here,
No, it's just here.
Alright.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Next thing was, so back and forth on here.
I think I had the,
Charging for,
right, and I could have printed it a little bit smaller, but I didn't, I'm sorry, I didn't think it would come out that tiny. I put a paper on there, just so you guys have it for reference.
That's this.
Yep, the highlighted ones are the counties around us, what they charge for a death certificate. So basically, that's for your guys' information, if there is, I guess if anyone wants to, take it any further, or, discuss it more, we can put it on the agenda again, but, so that's
what are we charging now?
nothing.
Oh.
So we have I think two counties that are adjacent to us that charge nothing, but then there's other counties, and I think they're at least $100.
This is charging for signing a death certificate.
A death certificate, yes. And so like if we charged $100, that would be a $7,000, collection of we do about 70 cases, I think, a year.
Is this a misprint for Pierce County, 2 cents?
Probably.
Well, as I said before, families spend enough money at event time. I think we can do it for nothing.
I guess if we had a shortfall, money, but we're well within the budget. So we did like
Yeah, I'm doing
30%
okay so
left.
far, yeah. Save it for a rainy day.
So,
I think it's pouring right now, isn't it?
what?
With our budget? Oh.
So, I mean, I'm gonna let you guys look at it, kinda see what the state, trend is. Kinda go from there. I mean, that's about all the information that I have that I can give you about what other counties charge and stuff, and kinda look at I guess you can also look, our cremation fee is on there too, and kinda see what other counties are charging, and, see if we're in line. I'm not sure.
My thoughts are, I think we need funding. And I don't know, and I agree with you, Phil, but I do think that maybe even just a $25 fee for this might be appropriate.
On average, how much time does it take to do it,
To sign a death certificate,
this process?
well, to actually go in and sign it is probably 15 to 20 minutes, but the whole process itself,
That's
you
what I'm
have to,
asking.
a couple hours. Maybe minimum of 2 hours. And then there's other ones that, you have to figure out where an accident happened, there's just a lot of other rigmarole about it, so it might take even longer, but.
I understand Phil's point about, funerals are obviously not cheap. I think, about $7,000, something like that.
I don't think they're that much, but,
I think I know a funeral director on our site, I think that's what they charge, for the $7,000. That being said, not everybody, but I know a lot of people actually have set aside a funeral trust for themselves. And so some of those expenses can be absorbed by that. Not everybody, I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know, I would not be opposed to charging a fee, I'm just not sure exactly.
maybe that's something you guys can think about over the next, and actually, I'm not gonna be here next month. I'm on vacation, so. But it's something you guys can think about,
Roll it over and bring it back on
Yep.
the January agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. The next thing is to approve the invoices. It's all from Amazon except 2 things. I'll tell you, I don't know if you've seen bills.
there two car organizers?
They're two different ones, one goes on the seat and one is longer.
The car charger, that's just for your phone.
Yeah, it's got multiple, the one we had in there now is loose, and my phone went dead and I didn't realize it, so. But, and it's got multiple plugins, so I can plug in the, GPS and my phone at the same time. I'm directionally challenged, so I really need that GPS.
I moved it.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the bills. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay, the budget.
I think we're still doing good, I, can't remember offhand what percentage I have now.
37.
Yeah.
There's like 2 months left.
Yeah, so unless we get,
This is November, so this is through October, right?
right, and we haven't had any autopsies since this budget update here. That's the only thing that I guess if we end up with a ton of autopsies, or a plane crash, I don't know.
Well, this is we're coming into the period around Christmas.
Where it's, yeah,
3 weeks both directions, there's a bunch of weird stuff going
stuff,
on.
yeah, it is, a lot of people have, yeah, a hard time around holidays, so.
Okay, any other questions on that? Or comments? Okay, and your, you listed your meeting updates and everything, meetings attended, nothing new there. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing to, okay, we pass you the sign.
Like signing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no further questions, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. On to
See you next week, Mike.
the sheriff's report.
Alright, average daily population was, 22, we had 1 out on electronic monitor, and we had 12 out of county in October. As stated, as Terry mentioned yesterday in the board meeting, as of last Wednesday, we have all of our inmates here under our roof. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but for now, they're all here. Training, other training requested Anderson, the DAT instructor, Red Slate. Darnell Price to Operation Rush in Pierce County. Darnell Price and Ethan Hayter to A-Ride in Rhinelander. And, Spencer Mocker to Pepperball instructor in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. We can get motions to approve those.
Is this the new upgraded pepper gun or?
Yeah.
You previously approved him to go in October, but the class that he was going to attend in October was canceled due to lack of participants. So now he's going a little bit further away, but
Motion approved.
We already do that. So there's Darnell, 2 for him, right?
Yep, 1 for Ethan Hayter and 1 for, Mike Anderson.
man, I have a thing for Mike Anderson, cause it's Nurse Lake, so they don't stay overnight, they don't submit meals.
Right, so, okay, so we've got the 2 Price and Anderson was just Rice Lake, so you said there's nothing, and Fenced, well, we already did that before, and then Ethan. Hayter, Okay, so the nail price is $493, again, $243, and we put a total on here. Oh, you just changed the lodging to $225, so it's just an additional, because we already approved it before. And then, Ethan is $243. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the out of county travel. Motion's made and seconded to approve out of county travel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Upcoming events, Shop with a Cop is gonna be Tuesday, December 3rd. If anybody wants to get involved in that. Sheriff's meetings attended. Academy graduation was September 28th and October 11th. Patrol is now completely full staff, and all employees are done with field training, so they're all on their own. In the jail, we have 2 in field training that should be done within the next week or so. So we are only 3 short to get upstairs, 4. 3 short. Calls for service there on the bottom. The inmate housing, revenue that Ann has brought in, or requested.
Any questions on that?
I'm just, backtrack here for a second. I do have a question on this outbound travel. Excuse me, for the racquetball thing. So it looks like the original, one that we approved was minus a $225 estimated lodging. Right, and so I'm just wondering, should we be initialing by our names to show that we approved that additional $225?
Just initial.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Motion should
By your
include.
name, just initial that you're approving the 225 additional. Okay, I think the next thing then is how's the overtime cost?
With patrol being back full staff and the jail getting closer, overtime should be going down.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have one
Sign
first.
this one.
Yeah, I thought that I did.
Yeah. This is the one that got
No, it's for 2, so it's a 2-week course.
is that on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So patrol is fully staffed?
Yep, patrol is fully staffed, everybody's off FPO, so there's no open holes in their schedule. So the overtime should just be vacation requests, stuff like that.
That should be a lot less than.
Absolutely.
Well, okay,
And then the bills,
bills. Anything extraordinary? Here's the radio.
The radio project doesn't hit the sheriff's budget, it's capital
Right,
improvements.
okay.
So.
Well, so, transport and everything should be nothing, I mean, we shouldn't be having any more triple county housing then, well,
Nope.
temporarily.
Well, just a change on that, if we do, we're going to Barron from now on, because they now have room and they're cheaper.
Nice. Probably closer to it.
They are.
And then Lason's Family Restaurant, the bill will go up.
Unfortunately, that's the downfall, yeah. Rob Peter, they ball, but yeah.
Okay, anybody have more questions on this?
On the bills?
Already transport, yeah, should be. Motion has been made to approve, but, we'll wait and see if there's any more questions on the bills.
At this point, the only one thing popped up, we keep buying pants and uniforms and everything for people who quit, what happens to those?
We, if they're still in good shape, we put them in, the storeroom, and then somebody new, if they fit, we'll issue them first, and
Okay.
only buy what we need. So if, yeah, if they're not faded, worn out, we'll use
In
them
some
again.
cases, they can't.
We try to
be
use
there
them
long
again.
enough.
Yeah, like for the last two for the jail that were hired, we probably only had to buy half of what we normally do, because
Just
we.
curious.
Yeah, no, we try to save what we can, by far.
No,
The
that's-
trouble with black pants, you wash them 3-4 times, they fade so bad that,
And you gotta find another supplier.
well, they're all that way.
Yeah.
Black is.
They get ordered through like 3 different vendors right now, wherever we can get them cheapest and quickest is where they're ordered from.
I know Barron's had a pair for Sawyer County for a long time, but they're not faded.
Okay, there's no further question on the bills. I'll entertain a motion, well, it's been, motion has been made to approve them, is there a second? Motion's made and seconded to approve the bills, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay, what about the budget?
We were. Yeah, we're on. Over, yeah.
Yeah, this is showing we're
Under.
yeah, I don't know the accuracy in that.
I suspect we're gonna be over there with overtime. If not, any questions on that, we'll go to the tower project. All of the contracts, I believe, have been presented and signed, other than the Brightspeed one, I believe we're waiting on yet.
The Tower North, isn't it?
That too, yes,
Yeah.
so there's two, the Brightspeed and the Tower North.
I took care of that. Okay, yeah.
Site work has started at the tower locations, site work meaning concrete pad stuff, electrical work, preventative stuff, fiber's been run to the west tower already. So that project is going as planned.
And should that be up and running or ready?
I'm hoping first quarter next year, I'm hoping, hoping, if I had to take a longer guess, I would hope by June. Yeah, I'm hoping so, but we're done.
What would it cost to run the cable to Sheldon? I hear there's a little problem with that right now.
The cost is insane. Not only that, but Enbridge will not allow us to put a cable into their tower.
They won't
Because
let
we
us
have
go over or under the pipe.
Right,
Everybody else does, telephone companies do, this is absurd.
they won't allow.
Do ones like that, right, so whatever.
Well, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna run microwave from Florida to Shelton.
So we're taking a step back to where we were, actually.
Well, I
No,
don't,
it's
I don't
a
think so.
redundant, and it's a redundant
It's a
microwave.
redundant path, so.
Yep.
If it goes out, it'll be a different way, so.
There's
Yeah.
2 packs on it, so
Right.
if one pack goes out, there's the backup right there.
Yeah,
And that was
it's-
the point of doing fiber, was so we at least had some kind of a backhaul.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's a step back. I don't think it is.
Okay, so there wasn't a way to put in that fiber without, I mean, avoiding going under or over there?
No, they won't allow it. And they won't allow us to put a generator at that site either. Because you can't have a combustible engine on their property. Because God forbid if it sparked or they had a leak or something.
Yeah, cause they, actually had a major leak one time, I don't know what kind of pressure they got in that line, but they had a leak in it. And that whole area was a super fine oil mist,
Sure,
you know, and it took forever for them to get there.
I'm sure. So, that was the only really grief place we had was the Sheldon Tower. So yeah, your question on getting fiber down there, it was probably half to 3/4 of a million to get it down there,
Oh, into there.
into there.
So what, compared to the microwave, is there a difference? Or is it about the same?
No, microwave is considerably cheaper.
Okay.
Well, not even a quarter of it, probably. Yeah, so,
And then there's no ongoing fiber bill
right,
there as well.
yeah, there's no additional or monthly cost. So,
We'll wait and see.
yep. So other than that, I think, it's a slow, tedious process, but we're getting there. Yep. Again, side note, not on the agenda, but I wanna thank you guys yesterday for approving that grant for the 911 stuff, that's gonna help us immensely, so.
Then the other thing, the storage area at Gates, are we looking some possibilities besides that? I mean, I did the tour with it. They've got stuff spread out all over the place. I can see why they want $60,000. I don't know if it's gonna be cheaper to isolate a place there, just rent a smaller area, or how that all goes.
From what's been explained to me, the sheriff's office uses all of that space, not just for storage, but also for training with their K9 and other combat type things.
But how much of it, that's what I'm asking. There's a lot of space there.
It's also been explained that the tow truck has to get in and out, so it might look like wasted space, but when you have the tow vehicle in there. I'm sure that's a discussion that the sheriff would be happy to have with you guys when he's back.
Because I know I went on that tour and it's like, there's room to drive any one of those vehicles around in circles in there right now. Just gotta ask.
Do we have any options at all where we can relocate to a building that we actually own?
I don't know what's available that's that big.
And temperature control.
Right.
For the evidence, that's.
Yeah, it's gotta be big. I don't know what's.
We heard you were gonna build this pole shed. Yeah, you said you were gonna put a pole shed on your property for insurance.
You should
Oh, I
barn.
forgot about that.
You can burn your barn, I suppose.
So so how many square feet do you need?
it depends on how many vehicles, whatnot we have in evidence.
Oh,
Cause some of those vehicles we may end up keeping for 2-3 years, depending on how long the case gets.
just wondering how many acres that is.
Yeah, no, it's hard to tell, it just depends on what's out there and,
And your other equipment is
oh,
out there
right,
as well,
yeah,
your
the boats out there,
boats
the
and-
Rangers out there,
Yeah.
the trailer, the Humvee, yeah, so there's lots of stuff out there too, so.
If that cost hits next year.
January first starts.
Just a pillow, so that's the sheriff's problem, so we'll figure it out.
Okay, anything else? Sheriff Department. Stuff coming up. Only, as you mentioned, shop for the cops coming up fast.
Yep.
Yes, we'll probably be sending out an email to the supervisors and employees asking for civilian volunteers. Just so you're aware that will be coming, and I want you to read the email, Phil. Don't just delete it.
Are you pointing at me verbally?
Is your name Phil?
Okay, anything else you guys have?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
So, how did, the ones that we in effect sponsored at the academy and everything, is that working out?
Yep.
They're doing
They're
great.
doing really good,
What are there, 2?
yes.
One was sponsored, one was already in the academy. We hired him halfway through his time in the academy.
Okay.
So,
And that's going
Just-
good?
yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, they're all off FTO, they're all working on their own,
Oh,
so, yeah,
wow.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Feels really good.
seem to be good guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
hard workers.
Yeah,
Very hard workers.
they seem to be doing really good, so.
Okay, if there's nothing else, our next meeting will be December 11th, again at 8 o'clock.